Four naked podcasters in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big hard throbbing cocks wanting to be sucked. Four naked podcasters wanting to be fucked. Podcasters in the showers at Ram Ranch. On their knees wanting to suck podcaster cocks. Ram Ranch really rocks.
Hello! Welcome to the third episode of the Jüs Podcast. I am your host, Darius Cham.
I'm your co-host, James.
I'm Obadiah Reviews, baby.
Cool.
I am Reece. R2D2.
Oh my god.
So, Reece,
that was like the most boomer joke I might ever.
Reece, where did the R2D2 come from?
Well, Star Wars, of course.
That's what R2D2 says.
That's just kind of the sounds I make every morning and whenever I'm asleep or whenever I'm fucking someone.
Because you have a learning disability.
No, when he wakes up and his whole body fucking cramps up.
Yes, when I need to outstretch my fat.
Jesus.
Reece, do you ever like put things like in your belly for later?
No, that wouldn't work.
Oh, okay.
He stashes gummy bears inside his fucking belly button, and in the middle of the night he just pulls them out.
I am having that.
And it's just all fermented.
I am the biggest gummy bear.
Anyway, should I just say, just before we started recording, Reece basically shat his pants in the studio, and James tried to replicate a scene from John English Reborn where Daniel Kaluuya sucks a grape down his throat. He did it. He tried to do it with a
South Australian
fruit chocs. Yeah, fruit choc, and he nearly choked and then spat it on his chest.
Well, speaking of choking and spitting, did you know those are the symptoms of the coronavirus? So just a little branch towards a relevant
Also
topic.
BDSM.
I also
That
must say it's the same.
Oh, actually, I did have a John English
someone
Reborn story to
gangbanging.
tell.
Okay.
Don't use what?
Can I tell it?
No.
Have I disrupted
No, yes,
your
you have.
coronavirus?
We don't want to hear it.
No, gangbanging is also a symptom of
That can mean the
So-
bonus features.
So-
features.
So, you know that scene where
my God.
Johnny English gets kicked up the balls, but he's fine because he just like stretches out and he just fucking takes it. Anyway, me and my brother developed a party trick back when that film came out, where he would stretch out his legs, and because he had jeans,
Careful.
when I would kick him up in the balls at full force, and because the jeans were stretched out, and because he was like 8 years old, and so probably didn't have much scrot,
Oh god, this is...
he wouldn't get injured at all. And we did this at various family gatherings and shocked our parents multiple times. We shocked the grandparents, cousins, everyone. They were amazed by this talent. So when the news tells you that violent media has an influence on kids and they will replicate it,
a bit like a
they kind of do sometimes. I'm just
For
saying.
your
Or maybe we were just retarded. I don't know. That's also possible.
For your information, by the way, I wasn't laughing at Tom's incredibly hilarious story. I was laughing at Reece's reaction because he was hyperventilating like a diabetic hamster whilst Tom was telling his story. Yeah.
Speaking of social media, the coronavirus.
Yes, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
But the
Okay, can I first... Alright, point one.
This
Okay.
room fucking smells like a coronavirus.
Okay, why does everyone
fucking
refer to it
patient.
as
It's all
like...
Darius.
Right, so you have like, you know, the
Just
flu.
sweaty.
You have the flu. You have Ebola.
Yes.
But then you have the coronavirus. You never say the corona. Maybe it's because there's a bit named like the same name, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? The coronavirus. Like you just say that. You don't. No one went. Oh, you know, you don't go the flu virus. You just say the flu.
I think
Yeah, but James-
I think it's pronounced coronavirus, but you know.
Yeah, Reece is right.
Is it actually?
No, but everyone said
Oh.
swine flu.
I'm from the
no one
north.
just
I'm
said
from the north.
swine. Everyone's like,
He has a point.
you got fucking, you know, you touch someone and it'd be like swine flu. It was kind of like a more topical version of the cheese touch at school.
Well, basically the coronavirus is basically it is very similar to Ebola, but this can be easily passed on by touching people that have it. So it's very easy to catch if you're not careful. So this is why you should always wash your hands and take care of your sanity.
Okay, well, one thing.
I'm a clean man.
No, you're not, Reece.
Just put it out there.
One thing that's pissing me off about the media is they're saying, you know, it's kind of racist for the bad jokes people are making about China. I'm sorry, but there are points when you should be able to put a country on blast. When they cause a global pandemic by eating fucking bats, we should be allowed to insult them a bit.
But on the other hand, you do see some videos surfacing of, you know, some redneck Americans eating squirrels and some shit, you know, so white people are somewhat to blame as well.
Yeah, and if they want to do their own take on a Batman film, then, you know, let them develop it themselves, you know?
Oh my god.
But can I just say as well, I think as a general rule for what you should and shouldn't eat,
Okay.
is if you're in a foreign country and you see some weird cuisine you've never heard of, what you need to first, you should research, do people back home in the UK eat this? Because the thing is with us fucking UK people, we are, you know, as any history buffs would know, we've done quite a lot of colonising, we've done quite a lot of appropriating, you know, we will take basically anything. So, you know, we've taken Chinese cuisine, we've taken Indian, we've taken fucking African, every country we have taken their food. And we will take whatever we can. So, if there's a dish like live mice or bats, and we're like, no, you guys can keep that one, then that's a sign it shouldn't ever be fucking eaten.
Wait, so can I be clear?
Under any circumstance.
So was it served in a restaurant?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but what
In a
about...
bowl with soup.
In a bowl specifically?
In a
Oh,
bowl.
okay.
Yes,
Raw
no,
fucking bats.
But what about this, right? So, a lot of Chinese or Asian cuisine often use parts of a cow that, you know, British people don't tend to eat. So stuff like, I don't know, the tongue of a cow, the intestines or pig ears, stuff like that, you know.
The cow is
but they still
reliable.
come from animals that we eat, but we don't tend to eat those parts. So are we saying that those parts aren't good as well, or just the animals?
No,
Honestly,
the cow-
it sounds kind of weird. There might not be much risk to it, but don't try it.
The
If the
cow-
Brits don't eat it, don't. You know.
I think
This
the
is
moral
a
is
cultural
There is a
appropriation.
chance.
don't
There is
eat
a
it
chance.
cold. Do not eat
Yeah.
it cold.
Exactly.
A bat. Why would you eat a
With
cold
anything.
bat?
Don't do that with any animal.
Tom.
There is a point, though. No, the thing is, right, pig ears could potentially be absolutely fucking delicious, but they could also wipe out half the planet. So just don't risk it.
My dogs
Cook
eat,
it.
My dogs eat them. Pig's ears.
Tom,
I mean,
anything.
Dogs
is
are a
fine.
bit. Dogs can eat different
You,
things.
you do eat cooked
Reece, I doubt
chickens,
you'd
by the way.
eat dog food, do
Can I
you?
just say, cows are a very reliable source of food.
Thank you very much, Reece. Anyways, by the way, I've done a bit of research, and the reason why...
Research.
Okay, research.
You haven't searched it before,
Research.
so
We're not American.
you're not researching it. You're searching it for the first time.
Shut the fuck up!
Also, Tom's Jeremy.
I've done a bit of...
Everyone says it wrong.
Listen,
So.
I don't... English is not my fucking first language, alright? So allow me.
Tom's a
Get him
nice
out.
rock.
Get him out.
Fuck off, mate. Get the fuck out.
Brexit.
We'll talk about that later. Anyways, the reason why the
Negative
coronavirus gets its name is because corona means a crown in Latin, and the coronavirus has a series of crown-like spikes on its surface, hence the reason why it gets its name.
Right, I'm sure all of our listeners
Oh, that's
give a fuck about that.
That's very.
Yeah, and our listeners give a fuck about your Johnny
Yeah,
English
you-
story.
yeah.
More interesting.
Half of them haven't even watched
Or
Johnny.
you ranting about nationalism and
I love you say half of
colonialism.
them, bro. We've
All
probably got
of them.
3 listeners.
Man,
all of them.
3 listeners.
Man,
There is a
How many people actually watched Johnny English, let alone the reborn version?
What? Everyone's watched Johnny
Everyone has
English.
watched that.
Reborn?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
it's
look up. I'm
Reborn
gonna look
was
up the
way
box
better.
office because you're a fucking tard.
Okay, now don't go for the box office.
Okay, no one cares that
Go,
much.
go to the Ram Range. That would be good.
Because obviously the tickets are quite cheap because they didn't need to
It's a
cost.
good
They didn't need to
film.
cost them high because they knew everyone would just go and see it anyway.
Yeah, but it's not
It
exactly...
made 160 million with a budget of 45 million.
I mean that's irrelevant. The stats are just.
Irrelevant.
It's the culture. It's like the vibe. You know, when you say Johnny English, you think, yes.
Yes.
I think Mr. Bean, as in. Oh fuck. forgot his name. Anyway,
Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson.
Yes. Anyway, so what do you think will
Most of that money was from China, actually, so I'm forgiving China. But can I also say, with Chinese people, right?
Right.
If you get a horrendous virus that can kill you and just all around makes you feel absolutely terrible, why the fuck are you getting on planes? Like, just like. I mean, I get a bit of like hay fever and don't want to get on a plane. These people are like,
Tom, they wouldn't have got on the plane.
they're like fucking writhing, foaming at the mouth. They're
No,
like,
if it was,
you know what, I'm
Tom,
gonna go
if
to
it is-
Glasgow.
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna
it's
go
so
to
dumb.
Berlin.
If it had noticeably developed, they wouldn't have even let them on the plane.
Yeah.
So it's just
It's such a
The coronavirus, literally the symptoms of the coronavirus
They could
is
just think it's a cold.
it's literally just a common cold at the start, but you only know it's a coronavirus if after maybe like 2-3 weeks it doesn't get better and symptoms get worse. That's how you detect it's the coronavirus.
Yeah, it might have been the first day you got the virus.
Exactly.
You wouldn't, nothing. You wouldn't even show
You
up.
wouldn't know.
Tom's irrelevant. Anyway.
They need scanners for this shit. They need to develop something. It's not good enough.
What do you think
Can't let
the
this shit
future
spread,
holds
bro.
for the
Let's
coronavirus?
get homeless people to like.
Well, it will die out in the same way that all the other viruses have.
or
you
we
know,
all just die.
Everyone thought Ebola would kill us all. Everyone thought swine flu would kill us all. I mean, hopefully this is just enough of a lesson for
some people
China to stop eating literally everything they find off the ground.
Some people thought bird flu would kill us.
Hello there. This is just a quick update on the coronavirus situation. The date is currently the 1st of April, and yes, I know it took me this long to edit the podcast, but what can I say? I am a lazy fucker. Anyways, I'm happy to report that as of the 1st of April, the situation regarding the coronavirus has improved massively. It is practically on the verge of extinction, as South Korea has now developed a cure, a vaccine for the coronavirus, so we can all forgive them for K-pop now. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, but let's play a game of hypotheticals, right?
Fuck
Let's pretend that the coronavirus is like the next plague. It wipes out a significant proportion of the population,
Including your mum.
including our mothers. And let's say
I thought this was with Darius earlier.
That's very
yeah,
specific.
let's say the four of us are some of the lucky survivors, right?
Or
What does the future hold for us?
yeah.
Oh, Reece will give us another disease.
We get
Maybe women will lower their standards. If
Well,
there's
we'll get
only
Well, there won't be any
a few
women.
people
Well,
are shit.
We'll get to
Does that mean
no.
you have to impregnate one of us?
we'll get to recreate the planet.
I could have a go, I guess.
Not exactly.
Yes, I'm sure.
Stick your dick in his belly button.
You know, I'm close to my co-host, so I wouldn't,
We get to reform the planet.
wouldn't mind.
Reece, as we quite clearly know, is some sort of modern day Casanova. He's quite the ladies' man, you know, aren't you, Reece?
Yes,
You do have a girlfriend.
I do.
Not anymore.
Want to tell us about her?
Not really.
Okay.
We
Well,
respect your
Private
decision.
information.
it's a private.
Of course.
Kind of a shit ass relationship.
She's didn't she isn't she in espionage?
No, I believe that's your brother. Anyway.
My brother's in espionage.
Yeah, because you're a
the facts add
socialist.
up.
How the fuck is socialism related to fucking spies?
Well, we're gonna leave that there.
So,
Alright.
anyways, let's lead on
Very
to our
interesting.
next topic.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to confer with our residential politics experts here.
Me.
Yes, Reece Ashby. So as we all know, today is January the 31st. Is it?
No,
we're in
February.
February.
Oh shit! It's February.
No, it's not, Darius. It's fucking April now.
Yeah.
Brexit
Yeah,
happened
Darius.
yesterday.
Yes, I was about to say
Already old
Brexit.
news.
Brexit happened yesterday.
It's
So
fake news.
I'm
So
sure-
why aren't you gone? You've already had the day.
January the 31st.
yeah, I know.
January 31st
I'm
is
just
fake news.
you know secretly hiding here. Anyways, I'm sure the question on most people's mind is
Darius is Asian. It makes no difference. He'd only get kicked out if he was like a European.
Shut the fuck up. You ruined the joke.
Bro, we're meant to be talking politics, and you're having all this misinformation. Got all this fucking misinformation
As I was
going
saying-
on
as I
in
was
my
saying-
presence. I'm not having it.
Oh, shut up.
Got a
As I was
reputation to
saying-
uphold.
Right, next topic.
What reputation?
Johnny English
Oh.
No, we're talking about Brexit.
No, we're talking about Brexit.
How can we relate Johnny English to
Reece.
Brexit?
We've already talked about fucking Johnny English.
No.
Shut up.
Reece, what does the future hold for a post-Brexit Britain?
That's such a boring question.
I think it's.
He's going to tune in.
James, cheers!
Thank
Right,
you.
let's rip on the podcast.
Way to
What are your
downplay my
hopes
favourite
for
section of the
Brexit?
podcast.
Alright, well, just go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's rather promising, you know.
Rather
I
promising.
think Boris is a promising leader. He's quite a funny guy, which I always feel like.
Is that a quality our Prime Minister must have to be funny?
It's not a necessity, but I
Right.
feel like in order to be relatable to the common person, it's nice to have. I feel like
You could tell by his voice and upbringing, he's very much a commoner.
Well, I think one of his parents are American.
Don't interrupt. The politics student is telling us.
Yes. Exactly, you posh twat.
Yeah. Rude.
Not even.
So, well, basically, I feel like if he delivers all of his promises, then we have a promising future ahead of us.
Okay, so do you think that our
That was absolute
snowflake
wank.
social justice warriors are exaggerating how bad Britain can get?
Shitty fucking snowflakes.
So for our listeners out there, how would you describe a snowflake? What is a snowflake?
Unique.
Basically, anyone that can't really handle a joke just because it's like a very strong and mature joke.
A bit like James.
Oh,
What?
You're a bit of a snowflake, aren't
way to
you?
dampen
Am I?
the mood.
Yeah, I mean you're pretty
Hang
pasty
on.
and white.
Cheers.
Right. yeah.
Okay, Reece.
So, shut up.
Go off, Reece, Queen.
So, I really don't like snowflakes because, like, basically, it's restricting the rest of us from saying things that might be funny or that it's preventing us from having strong points of view because everyone's like, oh no, you can't say that because you're going to offend someone. Even though it's not even offensive, it's just like, oh, because I don't like it, I'm going to say you shouldn't say it.
Okay, Reece, let's do a bit of role play. Pretend I'm a snowflake, right? Yeah, what would you say to me?
Grow the fuck up.
Go the fuck up. How dare you assume my age?
What about, what's more impactful,
Well,
Holocaust or 9/11?
I wouldn't be talking to you as a fucking child.
Should I tell that story?
No,
You
no.
don't really have much interest in
Everyone
shit
who will
on it.
watch this podcast has already heard that story. I
How
can
have they heard
guarantee
it? How have they heard
Because
it?
I know the people who are going to watch this podcast, probably, and they've all heard it. Because you told it to like everyone you know.
But there's probably no one even
Bro, we
listening to this podcast.
Bro, we get like 50 views.
I
You
think
think
we'll
most
watch
of
it.
them are-
50?
Dean,
yeah,
if you're out
because
there-
10 of them are from me, 10 of them are from you, 10 of them are from fucking James.
Bro, you think we listen to it that much? I don't even like half the time. I don't
I
even
do.
listen to them back.
I must confess.
Comment
I must
Donkster.
confess,
Comment Donkster in the comments if you know what you mean. Donkin.
You're clapped. Anyway,
You are
I'm
clapped.
You're-
sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I want to tell
yeah.
a story.
No,
It's a good story.
That was a bit harsh. Anyway,
Reece, no take back, stick with it. He's clapped.
hush. I must confess though, I've never watched an episode of our podcast ever.
Yeah, I know,
So-
because you're too much of a pussy to listen back to all the shits you say.
See, I'm a man of my word, so I regret listening to them when I come back to it. But
Yeah, because you go off for like fucking half an hour talking about some disgusting, loathsome shit.
yeah, snowflakes.
Yeah, the second episode was very vile.
Honestly, it was a bit much for me.
So actually, James, because you weren't on the second podcast, what was your reaction listening to it for the first time?
So wait, we're talking about our podcast
Our
on our
podcast.
podcast for content.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like I have actual stories and topics.
No
Yeah.
one, okay, no one see your stories, Tom. Limited to 2 per podcast.
I'm a fart.
It was just Reece like every 5 minutes.
Oh!
We got another one!
Why does this always happen?
Alright, scrap the podcast.
Yeah, fuck it,
Redo the
cancelled. We're done, we're done. No, Reece, get back down. We're actually...
Hurry up!
Reece, stop fucking disrupting the podcast by fucking shitting your pants and then we can... and you can actually fucking finish
To be fair,
it.
you interrupted.
And then
You,
you can go
you
home.
could just sat there and inhaled the
Pussy.
fumes.
No, he made a big deal out of it. He even said he was gonna fart. He did it well out loud.
Bro, he was spread his ass cheeks.
Bro, he just spread his cheeks. He fucking twisted his body around and just unloaded ass in the fucking. I don't.
First time I've seen Reece become this flexible. It's fucking Mr. Fantastic.
Look, you guys can't see this room, but I mean it's not massive, and there's 4 of us already getting a bit sweaty because it's quite hot, and Reece is just like absolutely sharting all over the place.
Lovely.
No production value.
Right then, come on, let's go to the
No,
last
don't
race.
make fun of someone else's bowels, Tom.
Let's
It's not
go-
very nice.
Yeah, Tom.
What are you, a fucking snowflake?
No, James.
Reece, what do you Reece, as someone who is a hardcore Redditor and anti-SJW,
I've never been on
what
Reddit.
do you think of bowel jokes?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, why do you think you've been on Reddit?
I don't really.
Is that the least likely
Look at
person
him.
to be on Reddit?
He's a fucking
Right, let's go on to the
Redditor.
last topic of the podcast.
It's not the last
You
one. I've got more on my phone.
Well, I don't want to answer any questions
Why not,
It's
Reece?
alright.
because I'm done.
But you just answered my question.
Well,
You've done him.
yo,
Got him! Tap, tap, tap.
So yet again, Darius has to
Yeah.
fucking ruin it. He always does this. Not just on the car. It's like in life in general. He says something that's like maybe kind of funny, and we crack up a bit, and he just says, "Yeah, aren't I epic?" And
Shut
we're
up,
like,
I'll fart.
"Oh, go fucking
I'll
die."
fart.
My entire
Reece.
sixth form can testify that
Allow
I am
it.
You
a
don't shut
walking,
up.
talking cringe
I will
compilation.
fart.
Allow it, Reece.
Oh, all right, Starling. Come on, move on.
Oh,
You're the man with the fucking questions. So ask questions.
Well, okay.
Come on then, tough guy.
You've kind of
Come on.
fucked my transition now, haven't you?
Come then, tough guy. I'm still
You're
waiting.
making me a bit uncomfortable, Reece.
Come then.
Reece, what was the last thing you ate?
You think you're a big man? Come then, ask questions.
Reece, what was the last thing you ate?
Meatballs.
Mmm.
I'm surprised that this man actually gave a legitimate answer and not something like pussy juice.
Bro, our podcast
That's my
is
next
terrible in general, but this is somehow easily the worst one we've done yet.
Jimmy.
Okay. I am I've got
Coronavirus is
the
right.
coronavirus.
Exactly.
We don't
As
have
well.
stability.
Yeah, we don't have E here to keep us all in check because he
We
also
just-
has the coronavirus and had to go to bed.
Unfortunately, we
You know, his voice was ruined a bit, so, you know.
Let's
He was always the one who was making the most contributions. And
Yeah.
so,
Especially giving us the
Fucking
pass.
Fuck you, you're making it sound like
which he
it's
never did.
I
Rude.
think you
Come on
can.
then. Next question.
Alright, Reece, I'm getting to it.
Fuck you.
Okay, so basically, we were going to talk a bit about let's say, motive. Last Friday,
Yeah, so
that 3 of us were involved in.
I was not.
And E was also involved, but he's not here to tell us the story.
So as someone who
Hey, what
knows,
story is this?
We're just gonna fast forward to like 1:30. James, why did your night end early?
Okay,
Say
I
it.
was in a forest.
Do you want to say how you got to the forest? Do you want to say why you were
I
in the
walked
forest?
into the forest.
While a bit inebriated, he decided to lie down in the forest. We go into this forest to search for
I didn't
him.
pass out though at any point.
Okay, he was just lying down, looking at the stars.
Being a
Why
drunk.
not?
And we're walking past looking for him, and we're kind of calling out like James, like he's a dog. And apparently I walked right past him, and James was like too drunk to say anything, and he was just sort of vibing. And then he got up about half an hour later, and despite us continuing the party right by where the forest was, he just went home. And then the rest of us lads got kind of blackout drunk. I mean, I did make a list of all the drinks we had, and honestly, it's too long to even read out. It's excessive.
do you recall some of the things that you may have done whilst?
That is literally what I was going to get onto. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so well, to be honest, I don't recall a lot of it, but I kind of found out the next day what we were getting up to.
what's the most
Thanks to
interesting
Ewell.
thing that happened?
So at some point, I think maybe when I was searching for James, I kind of uprooted an entire tree.
And by tree, you just mean like a branch.
No, it was a tree. It was an actual tree. Well, it
It
didn't have
looked
the
more
roots.
like a branch.
It was a
photo.
tree.
I bet it was a tree. Yeah.
Look,
It was a
You ripped
branch.
all of the roots out of the ground.
No, I snapped it off at the bottom.
Fucking incredible Hulk shit right
You
here.
snapped a tree.
Yeah. Yes, I did. It was a
Right,
weak
okay.
tree. Trust me, and I've been going gym. I can.
Okay, so
rip
how-
trees.
how-
okay, you go gym, lads.
I can rip trees out the ground. I am the Hulk.
You're a fucking stick man.
Thank you.
You didn't go to the gym at all during the Christmas holidays, but you go gym.
Bro, I haven't gone in your life. bro.
Man's dildo bashing.
I am. I did a lot of wanking in the Christmas holidays. That probably.
Why do you always bring up fucking wanking?
Because I keep getting interrupted, and I don't know how to deal with all this confrontation.
We had the fucking entire segment on wanking
Tom,
last
okay.
podcast.
No
I
one cares.
continue?
Like
Can
talking
I
about yourself
continue?
is just sleeping.
Can I
no
continue?
one cares about.
You're talking about
you
some fucking
uprooting
gay
a tree.
burger from some fucking bar that most people listening won't even know the name
Absolutely,
of.
because you got onto
So
this
it's
topic.
completely
We've got the
pointless.
topics right there.
Can I finish?
Okay,
No.
sorry.
Can I fucking finish?
Yes, Tom.
Okay, so at some point I took this tree into the kitchen, forgot about it because I was, blackout.
Reece, why are you dancing?
Came back and then came back at like 5. I was like, why the fuck is this tree here? And I just left it on the counter. Next day, a couple of the housemates weren't that happy about it, so they tore down a shrine I'd made of Reece, which was basically it had his name printed. It had his name printed on the wall, and it was a photo of Reece as a 13-year-old lying in the draw me like one of your French girls pose. And we still have no idea why Reece has this photo of himself, because most people who bring a photo to uni have one of their family, a girlfriend, boyfriend,
Dog.
a pet. Yeah. Reece just had one of himself as a child. Maybe it was to remember the glory days, I don't really know, but
Back when you were still slim.
yeah.
That is true.
I mean, not even really at
It's
that
actually
point.
true. I had a 6-pack then. I'm not lying. I was 13 years old. I had a 6-pack.
Alright, well, we can also maybe get that up on the
Reece,
screen. He didn't. He did not.
I've got a picture of it.
No, you just look like a slightly smaller version of what you are now.
I fucking had a 6-pack.
No, you
I don't.
fucking
You got to
didn't.
Photoshop. You got to do something with Photoshop.
I
There.
won't, don't worry. Reece, like, if...
Oh.
Oh my days. If you had like a 6-pack back when you're 13, I'm sorry to say this, but you've really let yourself fucking go. Like, what went wrong, Reece?
I think I just like food.
No shame in that,
Don't
but
we all?
like...
Might be because like when we went to the car,
I mean, I like
I got like
moderate
a
amounts of
sandwich.
food.
Reece got like a whole pizza, just like as a snack,
And buttons.
and buttons. Yeah.
Reese's.
Reece, did they say you were supposed to be on a diet?
Did I say that?
Yes!
I heard that.
A diet of pizza.
You said you wanted to lose weight and stuff.
I have lost weight.
You purposely... Oh my...
You are bare hench.
Yes, you are. Yes,
You can still be hench and obese. So we looked at sumo wrestlers.
They're not
pretty-
hench, they're just fat.
No, they're hench, bro.
They
Yeah,
are
they're
hench.
really
They are
strong.
hench.
And
I
they
can
still-
throw some ass.
Because like they work out their arms, so all the fat goes off their arms and nothing. Well, their biceps.
Anyway.
I need to shit. Maybe on a girl, who knows?
Oh my gosh! Everyone use a toilet.
Had a
Girlfriend. He's always. And yeah, that's the thing. We all emptied our bowels before the cast to get prepared. And Reece, this is just unprofessional.
He just left the studio.
Oh, fat slob, what do you
Reece,
expect?
go have your shit and come back. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Goodbye.
By the time
Reece,
he's
goodbye.
finished...
Why are you He's just lurking in the doorway now.
Hi, Jimmy.
Reece, fuck off.
Oh my gosh, this podcast.
Alright, and we're back on air. Well, we decided to take a quick intermission because one of our castmates, Reece Ashby, decided to take a shit. And we did decide to, wait for him, being the good friends we are, but, the man is currently taking hours drowning in his own defecate.
I mean, just for context, this man has got a literal playlist for having a shit. Like, honestly, if your shits are taking more than, like, 2 very short songs, you've got an issue. If you can play the whole of Lil Wayne's new album,
No, maybe you should enjoy it. You should
it's a bit of a
enjoy it.
problem.
The bathroom's a very enjoyable place.
He has told me he doesn't like pushing it because that can be bad for you.
True.
But I think
true.
you'd have to push a bit. I don't think you can just sit on the toilet and wait until you just shit yourself.
Well, you've seen Reese's arsehole. I bet it's just like a fucking massive hole and it just kind of slops
We
out.
don't really want to visualise that.
Yeah, well, we don't need to visualise it. We've actually
That's the
seen...
last arse I
we
would
have
ever
seen
want. No, but
Reese's
the actual
arse
like,
a lot of times.
but the hair, luckily quite hairy, so like. It
Yeah, you don't
covers
really
it.
see the crack. We haven't seen his chocolate starfish. Just
Yeah, if I saw his chocolate starfish, I would just. Oh gosh, I don't know.
I've heard him flush, but I don't think he's coming back to the studio. He might just go back and play FIFA because he's got a new comfy chair.
Well, he's
And
not
the
coming
next
back. He literally said he wasn't coming back.
Okay, well,
What a shame.
goodbye, Reece. Couldn't even make it to the
Okay,
podcast.
but okay. Here,
Right, so
here is a
feet.
question for you all. Feet.
Have you ever inserted a big toe into your anus?
That's quite difficult. I've never tried it.
Anyways, question for you all.
The reason James mentions this is during our intermission, he decided to put his bare foot basically like right up to my mouth. It was kind of grim.
It wasn't even close.
It
I've
was
been up to
too
your
close for
camera.
comfort.
I've been up to your camera.
It was too close. Yeah, which my camera was quite close to my face. It was too close for comfort.
What? Because you don't like sucking toes?
Maybe. I mean, I don't even know if I'd do that with someone I liked, but no, not with a man who's
Oh, a
not
man.
even an attractive man.
Oh, thank you.
At literally the lower scale of a gender I'm not into.
Well, I
The
was going to
lowest
ask, here is a
scale.
question for you all. If you were to take a shit, what's the best song to listen to?
If wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friend.
Probably Ram Ranch, to be honest.
Ram
But Ram Ranch in reverse, because then it's like, instead of getting
shitting.
fucked in the
Yeah,
ass,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
coming out your ass. So it's fitting.
In your ass.
Well, on that note, I don't know how to fucking end this podcast.
If I'm gonna keep on talking about feet,
No!
That's not our problem.
feet are hot.
You're the host, you do the outro.
Or I can sing a song.
No.
If
Yeah,
the
no,
outro.
yeah. Sing a song.
Three naked cowboys with sweaty cocks.
That's already our intro. Why are you singing that as our outro?
That's just the
And I
outro.
already sing it way better than you.
I mean, you auto-tuned it to shit.
No, the original recording was good, but then Darius fucked with it.
Yeah,
No,
because
to
To
fucking
make
why
it more
not?
memey, make it like one of those
To make it
fucking
much better.
Alvin and the Chipmunks sings videos from like 2010.
he musically, yeah.
Anyway, so if you had to,
I'll sing a different song.
What
if you
fucking
had to
show.
give our listeners a closing statement about, well, the fucking
Feet.
fuckfest that we just listened to in this podcast, what would
Honestly,
you say?
just take care of your bowels.
And your
And in the future, I don't know if we'll try discussing politics because most of you people don't really know anything.
Oh, it's not.
James,
Why
any,
talk, yeah, it's not a politics podcast.
any closing
Yeah.
statements from you?
No.
Just take care of your bowels.
Take care of your bowels. I will also say, don't bother washing your hands. You know, if you get the fucking coronavirus, like, it's a sweet release of death.
I would like to take back everything I said. Please wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds. Wash them good with soap. Please wash your hands. Thank you.
You know?
Oh, I do have a point. Yeah, and eat fibre so you don't end up missing like a little bit of something you're interested in because you're stuck on the toilet listening to Drake.
Yes, if you're having an intermission shit, make sure you can do it, within the intermission time frame.
Yeah, so
maximum
eat fibre.
5 minutes.
So eat
eat your fibre. Yeah.
So you don't get constipated.
yeah.
Cool, and with that...
But not bats, because bats probably do have a lot of fibre in
Yeah.
them. But
Don't eat that.
Did you know bat poo is actually like, some people use it for coffee or some shit. I've heard something about bat poo in coffee.
Yeah. No,
Guano
I
or
didn't.
something, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know that. You learn something new every
Your
day.
mum's heard
To be
that.
honest, that is probably the only new fact anyone has found out from this cast.
no, there was that one
So
at the
thanks for
start
teaching
where you were
us.
like, "Shut the fuck up, Darius." But I can't remember even what the fact was, so obviously it wasn't.
So it wasn't memorable.
Oh yeah, it was the original name for Corona means the crown because
Yes,
the
yes.
virus is in the shape of a crown. See, there you go.
Oh yeah, we're educational.
So you've got
Got two new
Dementia.
facts right there.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thank you, Darius, for
You're welcome.
giving us all this knowledge.
Right, anyways, let's fuck this cast off.
feet out. Feet out.
Thank you, James.